war. No one ever taking about your line. Joe, Jack, Jill, Mac, just anyone will suit you just fine. Before your life closes, somebody's gonna open your nose like you have opened mine. Then you search for relief. You walk up and down the lonely streets, but comfort will be hard to find.
Folks, welcome inside the Parisi Palace, high above 3773 East Broadway. This is a live edition of the Jake Feinberg Show. Coming on Power Talk, please go to our website, powertalk.live. Download our free app to your smartphone so you can stream all of our live local programming, including Solomon on Blast, the Jim Parisi Show, and yours truly, the Jake Feinberg Show. And we can't thank you enough for making us part of your day today. And I was on the phone with a good friend, George Porter Jr., last week on the radio, and he mentioned my next guest and somebody who was not only a dear friend of his, but also a mentor. He stretches back to the time of cats like what we just heard from Lee Dorsey and Lionel Hampton and Buddy Rich. He came up at a time when the acoustic bass was very fashionable because you were able to find your own individual sound. But then it also became one of the forerunners of using the electric bass as well. And looking to raise the overall frequencies and vibration today. Peter Chuck Badie, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show.
Thank you, brother.
It is good to hear your voice. We have a game on this program called Name That Voice. I'm going to put this voice in for you right now, and we'll come back and break it down.
All right.
The first group that sort of came out of the nurturing process, Edward Blackwell, who was a fantastic drummer, and recorded on the AFO label, the local label of Harold Baptiste, before he left and went to New York. And Peter Badie, who is still here today, Chuck Badie is about 90 years old now. He and another bassist, Richard Payne, who has passed away, and Alvin Baptiste and Harold Baptiste, clarinet and tenor saxophone. And Harold had a vision which eventually led to us recording some of the original music that we were producing on the AFO label, and which exists today because of Harold's vision. But for the most part, it was all exceptions. When I say exceptions, what I mean is those of us who had jazz skills were usually the first people hired in these rhythm and blues clubs because they didn't need somebody who could play those shuffles and boogies and what have you behind either singers or instrumentalists or what have you. And
all right, Mr. Badie, who is that voice? That's your friend Ellis Marsalis, and that was my interview.
Oh, that yeah. That's the last part of in the middle. The first minute or so sound like George Porter.
No, that
Ellis, yeah, I caught that last part of it.
This is my question, Chuck, is looking back on it, did the black community in New Orleans truly support their people's music of jazz?
Nowhere else like in the United States, in New Orleans. It's because of the question you just asked me. Because I never forget Harold Batiste when he came back from California. We went out to get together with the Air Force executives. And I wish you had that record to play on your program because it was something else, man. The six of us. But he said he got to go home and recharge. I had all that in my music room in the back of my house here. I had all that he wrote. It was something else. Harold was one of the most intelligent musicians. M.J. was black, and that Frank, if you ever want to meet, I learned a lot from him. And when I came out of Greenwald School of Music on the GI Bill, I came out to Pacific 1945 in World War II, and I went there on the GI Bill. The government had here in New Orleans for veterans. And that's where that bass I bought that bass that George Porter was speaking of with that big sound. The one that Seawall
Yeah, man. The big. Wait, where did you buy it?
Here in New Orleans.
Oh man.
The music store called Greenwald.
How do you spell that store's name? What was the name of the store? Blue Walls?
Greenwald, Gruenwald.
Got it. Okay.
Greenwald Music Store. It was very popular here in the city. This is where all the bass players got their streams from.
But Chuck, I want to ask you this because what Ellis said in a different part of the interview was that the historically black colleges never respected jazz. They never they didn't want it. They thought it was the devil's music. And that's why so I wanted to ask you, is that why Harold and Alvin formed All for One record label, because your own people never respected the music?
No. Harold Batiste, this was a hand-picked group that he picked, the fellows that he chose because it was the only recording company owned by black musicians in the state of Louisiana. We owned our station, and Harold said his main reason for the forming that because we go in the studios, didn't have to be there for executives. You go in the studio and record with anybody, you get your little bread, you understand? And they took up, the bread out your anyway, to make a long story short, he formed the own record here because it was ours. We didn't have nobody to tell us what to do. And they was making all the money.
As I love your answer. It's spot on. It's just I'm trying to. Better than anybody. New Orleans was completely segregated. There were.
Oh man.
Okay, so
I'm talking about that.
Yeah. Go. I say to myself, it's still amazing to me. Because jazz was born in New Orleans, but it was born because of the Sicilians. The mafia opened the clubs in order for jazz to be played. It was not being historically black colleges did not want anything to do with the music. So I'm just trying to, when you got back to New Orleans, what were the clubs like? Hayes's Chicken Shack? Were you playing there? Where were you playing jazz?
Yeah, I had a group in there. But the point you speaking of, I left Bourbon Street on that cause because it was segregated, and from Canal Street to the end of Bourbon Street was all white clubs. And I recall playing in many of them, and Ed Frank and Ed Blackwell. And we would trot to a street called St. Louis, Burgundy, by a black club there called Baby Green, to get us a taste, on our break. And we had a 15-minute intermission. And the reason we had to trot to hurry up and get back to 15 minutes because we couldn't stand at the bar and drink when we come off the bandstand. And then that was the. I got something here.
Yeah.
That I said, 1946, 47, at Greenwald Music School. The white musicians was on the first floor, and we was on the second floor. And it was the thing during those days was there was no black children in white schools. You know what I'm saying? And the schools I was going to looked like those shotgun doubles in houses.
Absolutely.
All black schools. Where the 2 and 3 stories schools of the white kids had. And I never forget. My teacher was Otto Fink. He was a veteran of the 4th Symphony Orchestra. And he was from Berlin, Germany. And he was white naturally. And we'd be doing ensemble. We'd be upstairs, playing the staff of there was arrangements. And a lot of the musicians out there would come up there by us. So one day it hit me. And I tell people they talking about New Orleans schools are segregated. I say, I know a school that wasn't segregated. And catch it well. Oh, come on, Chuck, man. What you mean? I say, well, at Greenwald, the white musicians used to come up there and play with us. We never did go downstairs where they were, but they'd come upstairs where we were. That was a government institution, that's why it's called GI.
Hey, who was the cat that you mentioned that was the symphonic conductor? What was his name?
Otto Fink. He was my bass teacher.
I'm sorry, you spell his last name F-I-N-K?
F-I-N-K, yeah.
What's his first?
He's about 150 years old now.
What was his first name? Alto?
Otto. O-T-T-O.
Oh, dude. So are you telling? Listen, I want to ask you a question because the late great Charles Neville, who's looking down on us right now, he said that when he was in Angola,
I knew him very well.
I love the guy. When he went to Angola, he got busted for 2 joints, and there were two bands in the jail. There was a white band that played, country music and country western music, and then there was a black band that played bebop. And
I played bebop up there in 1959.
But in Otto Fink's on the second floor of that music place, were you guys playing jazz, and the first floor they were playing country western, and that's why the White Cats wanted to come up?
Well, I don't know what they were playing downstairs because we couldn't go down there.
That's
good, right? Where we were, and we were playing the swing during those days. See, bebop came through around the 49, 50, the Bud and Dizzy Gillespie, which I had a pleasure of playing with the Jazz Fest here in 1971 with Dizzy Gillespie.
Oh my God! Let's just go back to Hayes' Chicken Shack because Deacon John would talk to me about Elvin Jones. He'd have to put a nail in front of his bass drum to get it from moving around so much. And
I was standing right there because I had to do this.
Go ahead.
Never forget, Coltrane, the fellow that owned the club, Vernon Williams, was a good friend of mine. And Coltrane was in when I first met him. That was 1963. But what got me assaulted that day, I never forget. Elvin Jones, that a white couple come in there, which was strange. We couldn't go where they go, but they come where we were.
Right.
And they were talking with the Elvis, and seemed like I heard definitely when they asked for his autograph. Yeah, I don't get no no autograph. And I said to myself, this cat here, anyway, man, I didn't like it, because it was a big thing to see the white couples come in the Bonner's Steakhouse, a black restaurant. It was very popular. See, Ed was a black fella that owned the place, man, and he sold a bit the restaurant to Vernon Williams, a good friend of mine.
You said Norman Williams? What was his first name?
Vernon, Vernon.
B-E-R. Is he still with us?
Oh, no, he been gone.
So he really wanted to bridge the gap and bring people together, and then it was depressing for you to see Elvin say, "I don't give no effing autograph to a white." Is it that made you that?
That's right. But you see that particular night, I've told this story many times. The Coltrane's bass player,
It was Jimmy Garrison.
Jimmy Garrison. I never forget. Say, man, can I check your act out? He handed it to me, yeah. So I just started playing some figures on it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that is
He
the...
snatched-
Oh, man.
He snatched his bass, he snatched it out of my hand, seriously. He snatched, give me my bass. But anyway, when they played this set, I'll never forget this long as I live. He said, hey, bass man, where can I get some strings? I said, when boom, all the world lines open up, you know what I'm saying, you get. And I made a mistake and told him, he hung out with us till daybreak. I was going to show him to bring him to the music store to get some strings. And I went in a club called Big Time Crip. The reason why it's Crip, his name was William Sonia, and he was a damn good, very good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? We were tight. And the people that frequent that place, you know what I'm saying, you go in there talking some other crap, you might get your head tore off. So when I walked in with the bass player,
Yeah.
Fred B.I.Z., he actually called him. And look, the young lady behind there, we all knew her a little bit, we used to call her. Her boyfriend would blow your head off, man. We used to call him Wild Bill. She behind the bar. And when he called her that name, give me that Garden Drive gin, Right then I told him, I said, man, you're going to get yourself killed in here. You know what I'm saying? And I took him out of there. Anyway,
Now,
I don't know where he went.
well, this is... So Garrison needed new strings. You took him to...
I was going to take him to World Line or Broomwall, the two music stores where all the cats shop at.
Exactly. No. So what was the other store besides...
This was about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I took him to 2, 3 places, you know what I'm saying, until the stores open. See, that's the way it was during those days, man. Like in New York, a lot of cats, you know what I'm saying, born and raised. 'Cause I left Harlem when I was staying at the Teresa, because I came playing. I got the picture on the wall back there now with the 18-piece orchestra. We playing at the Apollo Theater with Lionel Hampton.
We are just getting started with Chuck Badie. I mean, this is legendary. I just want to be clear. What was the after-hours store that they would blow your head? That they told Garrison to get the hell out of there.
But what store?
Well,
we kept Jimmy Garrison, Big Time Crips. The reason why he got that nickname is because he got his legs blown off in Italy in World War II. His name was William Sonia, very good friend of mine.
How do you spell his last name?
William Sonia, S-O-N-I-E-R. He's a black dude, about 6 feet 2, 3. And when we walked in, all the cats sitting on the bar and everything, hey, Chuck, what's happening, man? So I introduced him to guys and he just come out like and told the young lady behind the bar, said, "Bitch, give me excuse my language."
Yeah.
Exactly what he said. Give me a shot of that Gordon Dry gin. I said, "Man, you gonna get your head tore off." And you're talking that. One of the dudes sitting there said, "Chuck, who is that so and so?" I can't say this over there, you know.
He just brought. Oh man! Wait. So basically, he wasn't really showing the right etiquette. So you were just like, dude, if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're gonna get your head blown off.
I know. That's what I mean. I told him, you get hurt. Yeah. The point I'm going to read is, just like I got treated in many places, I travel all over the United States with different bands, man. And you go to town where we went, you know, you're going to go somewhere after you knock off and sit in with the cats and play and all that. And I was, you know, we were treated well. Cats you never met before in your life, you know. And here, this dude, I know what it is to be without strings, you know. I seen Stan, never forget, I went to see Stan Kenton at the auditorium here in Edison Plansky, one of the baddest in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That's who I copied behind them when I was in music school. He broke some strings, man, and he just reached down there and grabbed the bag with the strings in it and restrung the thing, you know, on stage. In less than a minute almost.
Jeez. Wow.
That's why, to this day, I never went nowhere, man, without strings in my bass sack. And this is, he rather than come down here and had no strings with him, and all he needed was to pop one of them on that bandstand and join us.
You know,
you got a problem on your hands.
Chuck,
Go ahead.
You know, it's just so much of my show is dedicated to rhythm, and rhythm in my mind is love. And I wanted you, especially when you picked up that first acoustic bass, and can you talk about two guys in particular and their rhythmic styles and how you worked with them to create a groove? And that would be James Black and Ed Blackwell.
Well, James Black was the most educated drummer out of New Orleans. Ed Blackwell, when we were playing together, he left here in 1960. And I'll never forget, something happened. We all put the grade together and put him and the young lady on the train, you know.
Where was he going?
In New York City, where he lined up the rest of his life. But the police, I'll never forget this, was happened to be passing on Willow Street there, and there she was sweeping the porch. And she looked like, Francis looked like Elizabeth Taylor. And the white police, wasn't no black policemen doing those days. White policeman says, "What are you doing here?" She said, "I live here." Blackwell was the first dude everybody seen that took a tum-tum and made his bass drum, you know, for small groups. And it was three of us, four with a singer. And I never get along as I lived. They called him, and you know what? You can imagine what happened. And we got them together. It was $100 bond. They put him on a train and they made it to New York.
He outside of the big band setting, you're saying that Blackwell was the first one to use tom and bass drum in a small setting?
I was playing with him.
Holy cow!
I tell me God, I got the pictures to show you.
Oh, I believe, because there's also something I wanted to ask you about. Was the first full trap set created in Congo Square?
That's where I played with Dave Battalion band when Lionel Hampton asked me could I travel. It was Wallace Davenport, the trumpet player. I seen him on the old film clip of kind of Basie yesterday, 7 o'clock in the day. They showed some pictures of a bassist band in Vegas with Frank Sinatra recording in a recording studio. And Robert Dempo, the one who introduced me to Hampton, because he went to New York, came back, and Hampton played here in New Orleans, 18-piece orchestra. They asked me could I travel. I said, fish swim. During those days, everybody there would be tickled death to go on the road with a big band.
Are you kidding? I mean, who was the drummer?
During those days?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know the drummer. He was out of Indiana. But little Rufus Jones joined our band when we played in Miami. I'll never forget. He was a bad cat, man.
No, actually,
he had that geeky rap, but he was in Florida A&M with Julian Adler. I went to jail with Julian Adler in Atlantic City. Cannonball.
Are you kidding me? What? Wait, hold on. Julian.
We were playing.
Oh my.
We were playing.
Oh my God.
We were playing at the club next to it. Diz was playing with a sextet, and naturally we had playing with his 18-piece. And I never forget. You could go through the back entrance and come through an alleyway like me and Cannonball. Cannonball had come up there to Nat Adler. I got a picture for that big band hanging on the wall back there, so help me God. Nat Adler in the trumpet section. I never forget, he coming up there to meet his brother because he quit his job at Florida A&M. Julian was a teacher. Cannonball was a teacher at Florida A&M University. And it was 5 of us went through that back door, and the alto player named Emmett Dennis, I'll never forget. The owner of that club was the Bolero name. The club next door where Disneyland was playing. The owner, was a very nice fellow, man, and that suit he had on looked like it cost about $300-400. I have no clothes because I like clothes. I dress well.
Sure,
anyway,
sure.
He told that fella, he told y'all welcome to come in, but you have to come through the front door. You can't come through this back door. Him and Dennis full of his whatever, He hit that man, and blood splattered everywhere, boy. The police was there in less than 5 minutes. And it took me, Cannonball told, he made a joke. They had to come to Atlantic City to go to jail.
Okay, this is mind blowing. Wait, hold on. Who hit the owner in the face?
His name was Emmett Dennis. The cat was playing a voice alto.
And so he was in. I just want to be clear. Were you guys? Julian quit being a professor. Were you guys actually on the bill with Dizzy? You were going to play that night, or just there to hang?
No. We after our first show, we was going over there and catch Dizzy because he can't buy himself and connect the ball with us.
And then your alto player slugged the owner, and the next thing you know,
I got a picture back there of the band was showing the way Emmett Dennis' name. And the man that blood shot out there, boy, the rest of the cats in the band was still in the club. We just wanted to go next door to see them.
Was the name of the club the Jockey Club?
The Bolero.
I mean, this, Chuck, you have to tell me. I mean, this is, I swear to you, it touched my heart when I spoke to George Porter about this place that you were gigging at, and I want you to talk about this because these are guys I wasn't even hip to. Is Alvin Red Tyler, the pianist?
We worked together 40 years. Me and Alvin Red Tyler.
Is now bless you. You're still here, but is anybody? Let me just get here. Let me just see this here.
Man that I played music with in the city. One.
Ed Frank, and Alvin Red Tyler, and actually Porter maybe you can help us out. Porter, when that night, when you said, hey, man, when he's like, yeah, can I play? And you're like, okay, who was the drummer?
Let me explain it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mason, when I went to McDonald's 24 school together, he was 4 years older than me. Me and his brother sit side by side in school, Vernon Mason. You understand? He had a beautiful club, man. In fact, he had 2 street clubs called Americana.
Mm-hmm.
Just lined up on Claiborne Avenue. And it was June Darnell, Frank, me and Ray Tyler, 4 of us. And George Porter just happened to walk in the club, you know, and I'd never seen him in there before, but he came on in and I said, "Why don't you play something, man?" You know, and he had never played the double bass. And where I had my strings set, you can set strings, your bridge a certain way on that fingerboard, you understand, to get a big sound. That's why a lot of cats that didn't get a big sound on their bass because their strings was too close on that fingerboard. You understand?
That's interesting.
And that bass right now is in the back there right now, man. I could sell it tomorrow. So many people want to buy it.
Yeah. So Chuck,
They got Epiphone written on the peg. They got Epiphone written.
did you? So what was the drummer's name in that group?
June Gardner.
June Gordon.
Gardner. Gardner.
Gar.
We played the jazz. Gardner. We played the jazz fest for 11 straight years. The same group. Not the group I just mentioned. It was June Gardner's gig. We played the jazz fest 11 straight years. And when he took sick, he went to VA hospital, came out. I went to see him the day his son told me, said, "Mr. Chuck, my dad is very sick. He's going to the VA hospital." And that's the last time I've seen him.
You never had a chance to say goodbye.
That's right. I sung Our Father's prayers at the funeral. I sung it.
I'm talking to an absolutely legendary bass player. Yeah, go ahead.
See, June, I was friends with his whole family. His dad had passed away. June joined the American Federation of Musicians Union here at 17. I was 22. I joined in 19. That's why I'm 73-year member of American Federation of Musicians. 802 New York City, 47 Los Angeles, and here 174 was the white local, and we merged in 1968.
I just want to be clear. So when you went to New York with Hamp, you got involved with the local 802 up there, but actually there was a white union and a black union in New York.
Not that I know of. 802 is the only local evidence.
Right. Okay. So
that's the largest local as far as musicians in the world. 802.
Well, let me ask you: did you wind up? Did you hang with Monk? Who did you hang with when you were in New York? I mean, those guys, Lester Young, Bird. I mean, this is like mind-boggling that you were up in Harlem.
Let me lay this on you.
Lay it on.
I met Lester Young in the airport. I'll never forget. I was hanging out. We had played Atlantic City. And I met a young lady, and we hung out and everything. And you see, when the road manager come through and let everybody know, you get a itinerary, you understand, with the dates on all this. And while the depot was the one told me, he's in there, he was banging on the door, and I just wouldn't answer. I said, "Well, your friends in Portis, your friends gone." And so help me God, I caught the train and from Atlantic City, transport in Philadelphia, New York City, and show you God was in the plan. So help me, Jesus Christ. That airport, that's the young with his wife sitting there with his own on his way to Montreal, Canada, to play a gig. And I've introduced myself to him. And he said, "Oh yeah, how you doing?" He's a very nice fellow, man.
Prez, man.
Told him what happened, and the thing of it is, man, when I caught that little plane, looked like it was going to drop out the sky. When I got to the Moulin Rouge, was the name of the club in Montreal. When I got that boy, it made me feel so good. All the cats in the band said, "There he is."
Wait, so I just want to be clear. You were having a good. You were.
So Lionel Hampton said, "Man, that bass player you got out in New Orleans, that dude is crazy."
So you were hanging out with a girl. You missed the tour manager.
I cannot hear you, brother.
You were hanging out with a girl, and the tour manager came, knocked on.
She was working her way. She was making it during the summer. You know, North Carolina A&M was the school she went. She was going. She was waitress in one of them clubs there. You understand?
Oh, I didn't know. So my point is that you missed the rest of the band. The rest of the band flew out to Montreal. You missed the flight, but then.
So help me. Oh, I got left by twice. I was hanging out. It happened in Rome, Italy. God was with me, man. There was a white couple that was at the concert and invited me and June Gardner. June was on the band because I'm the one got him on that band. Lionel Hampton wanted Royal Palmer. Royal Palmer was a very popular band around New Orleans. He left and moved to Los Angeles. He out there all his rest of his life. But I never forget, this white couple brought us, me and June, to that same Coliseum you see today. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. I seen where Caesar used to sit. And I never forget, we went there after we went there. They was from the United States. They had a house, one of them old temples, castle, whatever, sit on the hill like. And I'll be honest with you, besides drinking that wine and that hashies that he was passing around, I'll never get long as I live.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
when I made it back to that little hotel, the fellow on the desk said, "You camera is parti. You camera is parti."
You cannot proceed.
I called him in Bordeaux, France.
I have another name that voice for you. Take a listen to this voice, and we'll come back.
Let me explain something to you about that Ellis Marcellus while we're here, because
Do it, man. Let's do it.
Ellis and I worked together for many years, man. I put the airport, the American Jazz Quintet #1.
Right.
Where that Hurricane Katrina destroyed that club. Well, I passed it going to church on Sunday morning there. And nothing there but the concrete slab. It was Ellis Marcellus, Ed Blackwell, and me in the rhythm, and Alvin Baptiste and Nat Terlat. Nat Terlat was dangerous.
He was a serious. What was the name of the club? I'm sorry.
The Amusement Palace.
How do you spell
Amusement Palace? The two fellas. One of the fellas that run the club was he and I come up together. He christened my oldest son.
So you're telling me it was Blackwell, you and Ellis in the rhythm, and then Nat Paralet and Alvin.
Alvin Baptiste. He's well known all across the country.
Were you? This is so important, Chuck. I like. What? And by the way, what year was that?
1959.
Were you?
No, 1950.
Were you conscious of wanting? Did you guys want to expand? Were you very conscious of wanting to expand the vocabulary of jazz at that point? It was a very fertile time. Bebop was there.
We were doing it here in New Orleans. We were doing it. I know what you're about to say. Here in New Orleans, we were doing that every day.
Right.
It's considered known where you cats would get together and go by each other's house and arrange and compose or whatever, something like that. And you know, just play music every day. New Orleans is known for it.
Were you trying to take the music? But I mean, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when I listen to AFO recordings with you on it, I feel
I wish you could hear that compendium of AFO executives. I wish you can get that. You'll hear my bass.
I want to hear is Chuck Badie's bass. Listen, I want to play this other voice for you, and then we'll come back.
I tell you what, I don't know how long I've done on this phone.
Do you want to do set 2 tomorrow? We got a lot more to do.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, I'm charged and everything, but I don't want to be in the middle of a conversation and the phone go out on me.
Well, if it goes out, and also I need to get your niece's email so I can send her this interview as well. So if it dies, it dies. But let's just play this voice, and then we'll come back.
All right.
And of instruments, because things became so, you read a meter to get things done, whereas you used to read your heart. And then some of that, what you found in the tuning, is what made you you. But after a while, we begin to look at a needle, and when it comes up, everyone sees that same perfectly A440, and now we're ready to go. And I'm not saying that it would be good to play auto-tune, but auto-tune isn't always auto-tune.
Explain. All right. I really, for myself.
I'm trying to figure it out. I know so many fellas, man. I'm trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out.
That was another dear comrade of yours who left. That was an interview I did with Alan Toussaint from 2014. And he's talking.
Yeah.
And I want you to answer.
I got a big picture of the music room hanging on the wall with me and Toussaint. I'm coming off the bandstand at the Palm Coast, and he was sitting in the front of the stage with his daughter. You were
on all those minute records with Joe Banishak, and what I wanted to ask you about, what he was talking about was that every musician has a tuner, so they want to be in tune. And back when you guys were coming up, you tuned with your heart. And I want you to talk about how you developed your own tuning system for this incredible upright bass that you used with.
Well, for one thing, metronome and number one, number two, I learned how to arco from Otto Fink. You know what I'm saying? And I would tune my instrument with a bow. So
Otto taught you the arco bass? Did I hear that correctly?
Well, you had to in that school, Grunewald. He was a veteran of full symphony orchestra. There's a capo he did, down in the most of his work was bowing.
I guess more to the point was what Alan was saying was out of tune isn't always out of tune, and I'm always wondering like how you developed on the bandstand once you got out of Fink's classes. How did you develop your own? We have so much technology now, Chuck, and everyone wants everything to be perfect. And back then, you tuned with your heart. And I just want you to talk about how you learned to round out the music and make it so beautiful by tuning.
Practicing 3 or 4 hours a day. That's what it is. You see fellas make double bass island, you know what I'm saying? It's the most dominant instrument in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Because if you play any piece of music and there's not a bass, you could tell it at the drop of a hat.
Right.
Whereas you can tell in a minute And I like that woody sound of a bass. Because you see, some people say they like that groove, that electric bass and all that. But I never forget when I went up there with Earl King's learned me his electric bass. You understand?
Wow.
And I played in 1959 in Angola. It was that Frank group, and we set the bus from Angola State Penitentiary written on it. Picked us up on LaSalle Street in front of Foster's Hotel, that popular black hotel. But when that electric bass, you stand, went out, the amplifier went out, one of the fellas they had a music room up there in Angola for the musicians, and he went and got a double bass with one of the number pools. And that's what I made the gig with.
Okay.
The electric bass is all right, but when that amp goes down, that's it.
Oh, I mean, you said that Earl King gave you an electric bass. You guys were...
No, he didn't give me. He lent it to me.
He lent it to you, but the point was you weren't in Angola. You were playing for the prisoners?
Yeah, the whole five of us went up there on the bus. They came and got us. There was a white fellow from WFNB Radio. At that time, he was the one who promoted that. He was well known in the city. He used to promote them gigs.
Wow.
And that was considered a gig. We got paid to go up there.
What was
wasn't going to prison.
That is
The thing of it is, listen to me, brother. The thing of it is that old regular had written on that Louisiana State Penitentiary, biggest house here. You understand? And everybody passing there. Oh, look, Angola busting it. And we always, hanging around the club, the hotel there, just drinking and talking till time to leave. Ed Frank was a leader. I tell you what, I'd never make that ride no more if I had to.
Ed Frank, it was you, Ed Frank, June Gardner, and Alvin Ty. Is that the band that went to Angola?
No. On that one, Ed Blackwell, me, and Frank in the rhythm section, Matt Perry on tenor. And we had a singer, young lady, she came down to New Orleans, out of Boston, and she used to live by the dewdrop upstairs there on Gold. I'm thinking about this phone right now, my man.
Okay, so can I call you later and we'll try to? I mean, can we do part two some other time? I hope you had a good time. We've been cooking here for 40 minutes. 50.
Well, yeah, I enjoyed it. What I'm saying is, I don't want my phone to go out and that. You know what I'm saying? In case somebody call you checking on me.
All right, I'll call you later. We'll set up a time to do part two, and I also need your niece's information because this is legacy here, brother.
Niece? What about my niece?
Well, you said somebody called you before. And to check up on you, but I want to make sure.
Well, yeah, that was my nephew's daughter.
Okay, so I need somebody's. I'll call you later because I want their contact info so I can send them this interview.
Well, she's in Wichita, Kansas, brother.
All right. Anyway, listen, Chuck.
I don't know her address, nothing like that. She got a husband and 5 children.
Maybe you can just give me her number. And she can give me her email. Anyway, I'll call you later, Chuck. It was an absolute honor, and I have so much music here that we didn't even get to. So we're just starting to cook here, man. We got another couple interviews to do.
Well, I tell you what, man, it have to be another time because I got it now.
You got it, bud. Be cool, man, and be safe. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah, later on, brother.
All right.
Peace. Wow. Peter Chuck Badie. Alan Toussaint. Ellis Marsalis. Rest in peace. We'll be back with Barry Melton after this.